Have you ever noticed something strange? Two people, same age, both 65. One looks tired, fragile, drained by life. The other, bright eyes, calm face, strong posture, a presence that feels alive. And people whisper, "Are you really 60 plus? You don't look it." But let me tell you something powerful today. Looking younger after 60 is not luck. It is not just genetics. It is not expensive creams. It is not surgery. It means something deeper. It means your spirit did not age with your body. Because real aging does not start in the skin. It starts in the mind. It starts in the heart. It starts in the way you respond to pain. Today we are talking about after 60. If you look younger than your age, it reveals these powerful truths. And if you are someone over 60, or you have parents, grandparents, or loved ones in that stage of life, this video might change the way you see aging forever. So, before we begin, take 1 second. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Because here, we don't just talk about age. We talk about power, dignity, and inner strength. Now listen carefully. If you look younger after 60, it means these powerful things about you. 1. It means stress did not destroy you. Stress is the fastest aging poison, and most people don't even realize they are drinking it daily. Look closely at two people of the same age. One carries tension in their forehead, tightness in their jaw, heaviness in their eyes. The other looks calm, soft, present. The difference is not years. The difference is emotional weight. Some people carry every insult for 30 years. Every betrayal. Every "you're not good enough." Every business failure. Every family argument that should have ended decades ago. They replay it in their mind like a broken movie. And the body keeps the score. Their sleep becomes lighter. Their shoulders stay tight. Their smile fades slowly. Their eyes lose brightness. Stress does not just live in thoughts. It settles in the nervous system. It tightens the muscles of the face. It changes posture. It steals glow. But if you look fresh after 60, if your presence feels calm instead of exhausted, it means something extraordinary happened. It means stress did not win. Maybe you went through financial loss. Maybe you buried people you loved. Maybe you were misunderstood, judged, even disrespected. But somewhere along the way, you made a powerful decision. I will not let this live inside me forever. That decision is rare because most people don't know how to let go. They hold anger like a trophy. They hold grudges like protection. They believe staying upset gives them control. It doesn't. It ages them. Letting go is not weakness. It is survival. It is choosing your peace over your pride. When someone insulted you, you didn't replay it for 20 years. When someone betrayed you, you didn't let it harden your heart permanently. When life disappointed you, you grieved, but you moved forward. That's strength. Your face reflects that strength. There is a softness in people who have processed pain instead of storing it, a relaxed openness, a steady gaze. Their smile reaches their eyes because it's not forced, it's unburdened. Stress etches lines deep and early, but peace smooths them in ways no cream ever can. And here's the deeper truth, the one most people avoid. If you still look youthful after 60, it's not because you avoided hardship. It's because hardship did not take ownership of your identity. You didn't become the betrayal. You didn't become the loss. You didn't become the criticism. You remained yourself. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who has suffered and yet walks lightly. That lightness is visible. It's magnetic. It makes people say, "You don't look your age." What they're really saying is, "You don't look burdened." And that is rare, because peace, real peace, is the greatest anti-aging medicine. It relaxes your breath. It softens your expression. It keeps your spirit flexible instead of rigid. So if you look younger after 60, understand what that truly means. It means you refused to let stress carve your identity. It means you healed instead of hardened. It means you chose freedom over resentment. And that choice shows on your face every single day. 2. It means you stayed curious about life. Have you ever noticed how some people grow older, but never grow dull? Same age, same number of birthdays. Yet one person speaks like life is already over, and the other speaks like life is still unfolding. The difference is not in the body, it's in curiosity. People who stop learning start aging faster. The moment someone says, "I'm too old for this," something inside them quietly shuts down. They stop asking questions. They stop exploring. They stop trying. And when the mind stops expanding, the spirit begins to shrink. You can see it. Their conversations become repetitive. Their reactions become rigid. Their world becomes smaller every year. But the ones who stay curious, they glow. They ask their grandchildren how apps work instead of complaining about them. They learn how to use smartphones instead of fearing them. They try new foods. They watch documentaries. They read. They listen. They don't say, "Back in my time was better," every 5 minutes. They say, "Teach me something new." And that sentence alone keeps them young. Even Julia Roberts once said that your face tells the story of your life. And if your story is filled with curiosity, laughter, and openness, it shows. A curious mind writes a vibrant story. A closed mind writes a tired one. Curiosity is energy. When you are curious, your brain stays active. Your eyes stay bright. Your posture stays engaged. You lean forward in conversations instead of pulling back. You feel anticipation instead of boredom. That anticipation is youth. Think about a 5-year-old who decides to learn music for the first time, or someone who starts gardening after retirement, or someone who joins a walking group and makes new friends instead of isolating themselves at home. That person does not feel finished. They feel alive, and aliveness is visible. If you look young after 60, it means your mind never retired, even if your job did. Retirement from work does not mean retirement from growth. Some people retire and slowly disconnect from the world. They wake up without purpose. Days blend into each other. Television replaces conversation. Complaints replace curiosity. But others use that phase as expansion. They travel to places they postponed for decades. They read books they never had time for. They reconnect with hobbies. They ask deeper questions about life, meaning, faith, relationships. And here's the powerful truth most people don't realize. The brain does not age because of years. It ages because of repetition, without stimulation. When you learn something new, your brain literally forms new connections. That mental freshness translates into emotional freshness, and emotional freshness reflects on the face. A curious person smiles differently. Their eyes scan the world. Their voice carries interest. They don't speak like someone who has seen it all. They speak like someone who still wants to see more. And that desire, that hunger for experience, keeps the body alive, because the body follows the mind. If your mind says, "Life is still exciting," your body responds with energy. If your mind says, "Nothing new matters," your body slows down. So, if someone tells you, "You don't look your age," understand the deeper meaning. It means you didn't allow your world to shrink. It means you stayed teachable. It means you kept wonder in your eyes. And wonder is one of the rarest forms of youth. After 60, a curious mind is not just attractive, it is powerful. Because when your mind stays young, your entire presence refuses to grow old. 3. It means you didn't let hardship harden you. Life after 60 is not soft. By this age, you have seen things that younger people cannot even imagine. You have attended more funerals than weddings. You have said goodbye more times than you wanted to. You have watched friends disappear, children grow distant, dreams quietly fade. Maybe you lost a partner who once filled your home with laughter. Maybe your body doesn't cooperate the way it used to. Maybe the plans you had at 40 never became reality. Life after 60 carries weight. And weight can do one of two things. It can either deepen you or harden you. Some people respond to pain by building walls. They become cold, short-tempered, emotionally unavailable. They stop trusting. They stop expressing love. They stop allowing themselves to feel fully, because feeling means risking hurt again. And that hardness shows. It shows in tight lips, in impatient response, in eyes that no longer soften when someone speaks, in a presence that feels guarded instead of warm. Pain, when unprocessed, turns into stone. But if you still look vibrant after 60, if your face still carries light instead of bitterness, it means something extraordinary happened inside you. It means pain did not turn you into stone. It turned you into wisdom. There is a powerful difference. Stone is rigid. It resists. It isolates. Wisdom is calm. It understands. It embraces. Imagine two people who both lost someone they deeply loved. One shuts down completely. They stop talking about emotions. They push people away. They decide, I will never get close again. Their heart protects itself by becoming smaller. The other grieves deeply but eventually chooses to love again. Not necessarily romantically, but in friendships, in family, in kindness. They allow themselves to remain open even after loss. That openness is courage. And courage glows. When hardship refines you instead of hardens you, your face carries compassion instead of anger. Your voice carries patience instead of irritation. You listen more. You judge less. You understand that everyone is fighting a battle. That understanding softens a person. And softness, at 60 and beyond, is not weakness, it is strength earned through fire. Some people think looking young is about smooth skin, but true vibrancy comes from emotional flexibility, the ability to bend without breaking, the ability to forgive without forgetting the lesson, the ability to smile again after crying. If you still laugh freely, if you still show affection, if you still trust carefully but genuinely, it means hardship did not steal your humanity. And that is rare, because many people allow disappointment to define them. They introduce themselves through their pain. They replay old stories of betrayal like badges of identity. They become their wounds. But you did something different. You learned. You accepted that life includes loss. You understood that control is limited. You realized that bitterness only punishes the one holding it. That realization creates depth. And depth is beautiful. A person shaped by wisdom has a steady presence. There is something calm about them, something grounded. They don't react to every small inconvenience because they've survived bigger storms. And storms, when faced with awareness, polish the soul. So if someone tells you that you look vibrant after 60, understand what they are really seeing. They are seeing resilience without resentment. They are seeing experience without hostility. They are seeing a heart that stayed open in a world that tried to close it. Pain could have made you sharp and distant. Instead, it made you thoughtful and strong. And that kind of strength doesn't just show in your character. It shows in your face. 4. It means you maintain self-respect. After retirement, something strange happens to many people. For decades, your identity was attached to what you did. Your title, your profession, your role. People introduced you with respect. They listened carefully. They needed your decisions. And then one day, it slows down. The office no longer calls. The phone rings less. The world keeps moving but without asking you. Society moves fast. Trends change weekly. Technology updates daily. Young voices dominate conversations. And many people after 60 begin to feel invisible. Not because they have nothing to offer, but because they start believing they don't. And that belief changes posture. Shoulders begin to curve forward. Voices become hesitant. Opinions remain unspoken. Presence becomes smaller. It's not age that makes someone shrink. It's loss of self-respect. But if you still carry yourself with dignity after 60 straight back, steady walk, calm and grounded voice that says something powerful, it means you never handed your worth to society's approval. Yes, you retired from a job, but you did not retire from yourself. Even thinkers like Carl Jung believe that the second half of life is not about fading away, it's about becoming who you truly are. The first half is often about building status. The second half is about building depth. And depth does not shrink. It expands. If you look younger than your age, it often means you refuse to beg for relevance. You did not compete with youth. You did not try to act 25 to feel valuable. Instead, you embraced your stage of life fully. That confidence shows. You speak when you have something meaningful to say, not to prove yourself. You walk into a room without apology. You don't lower your voice just because someone younger is louder. Self-respect is visible. Imagine two retirees at a family gathering. One constantly interrupts with, "In my time," trying to reclaim authority. The other listens attentively, smiles, and when they speak, everyone pays attention. Not because they demand respect, but because they embody it. The second person radiates youth. Why? Because self-respect stabilizes energy. It prevents desperation. It removes insecurity. It creates calm strength. When you respect yourself, you do not chase validation from your children, your neighbors, or social media. You don't need constant reassurance that you still matter. You already know you do. That certainty relaxes the face. It straightens the spine. It slows the walk in a powerful way. Not weak, not rushed, not anxious, grounded. Many people age rapidly when they start doubting their place in the world. They feel outdated, replaceable, forgotten. That inner insecurity reflects outwardly. But if you expand it instead of shrinking, if you use this phase to explore your passions, deepen your spirituality, mentor others, or finally express your authentic self, then your presence carries purpose. Purpose keeps people young. When you wake up knowing your existence still has value, your body responds differently. You take care of yourself. You dress with intention. You speak with clarity. And here's the deeper truth. Self-respect after 60 is rebellion. It is refusing to disappear quietly. It is refusing to define yourself by productivity alone. It is choosing dignity over attention. So if someone says, "You don't look your age," understand what they are really seeing. They are seeing someone who did not shrink under society's pressure. They are seeing someone who stands firmly in their identity. They are seeing expansion instead of erosion. You did not become smaller with time. You became more yourself. And there is nothing more youthful than a person who is fully, unapologetically who they are. 5. It means you kept moving, physically and emotionally. Movement is life. The moment movement stops, decline begins. Not just in the body, but in the spirit. After 60, it becomes very easy to slow down in the wrong way, to sit longer, to avoid stairs, to say, "Let the younger ones do it," to postpone walks, to choose comfort over vitality. Some people begin waiting for the day to pass, waiting for someone to visit, waiting for the next appointment, waiting for life to happen to them. They sit, they complain, they replay old stories, and slowly, without realizing it, their world becomes smaller. Their muscles tighten, their joints stiffen, their posture collapses inward, even their breathing becomes shallow. But others choose differently. They walk daily, even if slowly. They stretch in the morning, even if it hurts a little. They water plants. They sweep the floor. They bend. They reach. They move. Not because they are trying to look young, but because something inside them refuses to stop living. And that refusal is powerful. The body responds to movement. Blood circulates better. Oxygen reaches the brain. Muscles stay engaged. Balance improves. Skin glows because life is flowing underneath it. But here's the deeper truth most people ignore. The face responds to hope. Physical movement is only half of it. Emotional movement matters just as much. Some people freeze emotionally after disappointment, after retirement, after loss. They stop trying new things. They stop forming new bonds. They stop dreaming. They become emotionally still. And emotional stillness ages faster than physical stillness. But if you kept moving emotionally, if you still forgive, still adapt, still explore, still open your heart carefully but genuinely, then your energy continues to flow. Energy is youth. Imagine a 6-8-year-old who wakes up early to walk in the park. The pace is not fast. The knees may complain, but the eyes are alert. They greet strangers. They notice birds. They feel sunlight. Now imagine another 6-8-year-old who wakes up and immediately sits in front of the television for hours, complaining about politics, about health, about how things used to be. The difference is not age. It is momentum. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates vitality. Even small acts matter. Dancing quietly in the kitchen while tea boils, praying with intention instead of routine, joining a local group, learning a light exercise, calling a friend instead of waiting for one to call you. These actions send a powerful message to the brain: I am still alive. I am still participating. When you participate in life, life participates in you. If your body still moves, your energy still flows. And flowing energy is magnetic. It lifts the posture. It brightens the eyes. It gives your voice rhythm. Cosmetic products can only touch the surface. Movement transforms from within. There is something deeply attractive about someone after 60 who walks with purpose, not rushed, not trying to prove anything, just steady, grounded, active. It says, I am not done. And that sentence, even if unspoken, is visible. So if you look younger than your age, it may simply mean this: you never surrendered to stillness. You never let comfort replace growth. You kept your body in motion and your heart in circulation. Because as long as you move physically and emotionally, you are not aging. You are living, and living keeps you young. 6. It means you chose gratitude over complaint. There are two types of elders in this world. Both may be the same age. Both may have similar health conditions. Both may have faced loss, disappointment, and change. But one says, my time is gone, and the other says, I'm grateful I'm still here. That one sentence difference changes everything. The person who believes their time is gone begins to slowly disconnect from life. They talk about the past more than the present. They compare everything to how it used to be. They count what they've lost more than what remains. And you can see it. Complaint tightens the face. It pulls the eyebrows down. It stiffens the jaw. It drains warmth from the eyes. Bitterness is heavy, and heavy emotions weigh down the body. But the one who says, I'm grateful I'm still here, carries a completely different energy. They wake up and notice sunlight through the window. They appreciate a simple cup of tea. They smile when a grandchild calls, even if the call is short. They are thankful for one more morning, one more breath, one more chance. Gratitude relaxes the face. It softens expression. It smooths tension. It makes the eyes shine instead of dull. And that shine looks like youth. Let's be honest, after 60, life is not perfect. The body may ache. Friends may be fewer. The world may feel unfamiliar. There may be regrets that quietly visit at night. But gratitude does not deny reality. It reframes it. Instead of saying, my knees hurt, the grateful heart says, at least I can still walk. Instead of saying, my children are busy, it says, I'm proud they built their own lives. Instead of saying, I'm getting old, it says, not everyone gets this privilege. That mindset is powerful, because the brain listens to the stories you repeat. If you constantly tell it that life is unfair and finished, your body responds with heaviness. But if you tell it that life still holds value, your body responds with lightness. Gratitude is emotional oxygen. It expands the chest. It slows the breath. It stabilizes the heart. And stability is attractive. There is something deeply beautiful about a 65 or 70-year-old who speaks with appreciation instead of resentment, who thanks the waiter, who blesses their day, who smiles at strangers. That warmth is felt, and warmth keeps you young. Complaint, on the other hand, isolates. It pushes people away. It narrows conversations. It repeats the same frustrations until they become identity. Gratitude expands. It opens space for connection. It invites laughter. It keeps curiosity alive. It reminds you that even now, especially now, life still holds small miracles. If you look young after 60, it often means your heart still says, thank you, more than it says, why me? That is rare, because it's easy to complain. It requires no effort, but gratitude is intentional. It is chosen daily, sometimes hourly, especially when circumstances are difficult. And that daily choice reshapes a person. It keeps the spirit flexible. It prevents the soul from shrinking. It keeps the eyes soft instead of sharp. So when someone tells you you don't look your age, understand what they might truly be seeing. They are seeing a heart that did not turn against life. They are seeing someone who still finds light in ordinary moments. They are seeing a face shaped more by appreciation than by regret. And appreciation is one of the purest forms of youth. 7. It means your inner child is still alive. This is the most powerful one, because everything else, health, posture, lifestyle, matters. But this is the soul of youth. Your inner child. After 60, many people become serious all the time. Life has tested them. Responsibilities shaped them. Loss matured them. And slowly, without noticing, they stopped playing. They stopped laughing loudly. They stopped being silly. They stopped dancing when their favorite old song plays. They stopped looking at the sky just to admire the clouds. And when that happens, something subtle shifts in the face. It becomes guarded, measured, careful. But if you still smile easily, if you still light up at small things, it means something extraordinary survived inside you. It means your inner child is still alive. You still enjoy rain instead of complaining about getting wet. You still hold a warm cup of tea and pause to truly taste it. You still sit in sunlight like it's a gift. You still laugh when a child says something innocent and unexpected. That kind of joy is not childish. It is powerful. Because the world tries very hard to make adults serious. It tells you maturity means control, silence, restraint. It tells you aging means slowing down emotionally, becoming quieter, shrinking your excitement. But some people refuse. They clap at simple celebrations. They take photos of sunsets. They tease their grandchildren. They hum songs while walking. And you can see it on their face, a softness, a sparkle, a warmth that cannot be manufactured. Think about someone in their late 60s who still sits on the floor to play with a child, who doesn't worry about looking dignified in that moment, who laughs freely when they lose a simple board game. That person looks younger not because of skin texture, but because of emotional freedom. The moment someone loses their inner child, their face changes permanently. Not dramatically, quietly. The eyes lose wonder. The smile becomes polite instead of genuine. Conversations become practical instead of playful. But yours didn't. And that is rare, because life after 60 has every reason to harden you. Responsibilities were heavy. Expectations were high. Maybe you carried your family through storms. Maybe you sacrificed dreams. Maybe you endured things you never talk about. Yet despite all that, you still allow yourself to feel delight. That is courage. To remain playful in a serious world is bravery. There is something magnetic about a person over 60 who still gets excited about festivals, about new clothes, about a favorite dessert, who still enjoys small surprises, who still says, "Let's go," instead of, "What's the point?" Playfulness keeps energy circulating. It relaxes facial muscles. It softens the voice. It brightens the eyes. It makes interactions lighter. And lightness looks like youth. Your inner child is not immaturity. It is your ability to experience life without constant defense. When you can still laugh at yourself. When you can still be curious without embarrassment. When you can still find magic in ordinary days. You are not aging in spirit. You are evolving without losing your essence. So if someone tells you that you don't look your age, understand what they might truly be seeing. They are seeing wonder. They are seeing joy that survived decades. They are seeing a person who did not allow responsibility to erase delight. And delight is powerful, because while the body grows older, inevitably, a soul that still knows how to play never truly does. 8. It means you forgave more than you fought. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is freedom. And after 60, freedom becomes more valuable than being right. By this age, you have enough reasons to be angry, enough stories to justify bitterness, enough memories of betrayal, disrespect, misunderstandings, broken promises. Maybe a friend turned their back on you. Maybe a family member said words that cut deep. Maybe someone never apologized. Maybe life itself did not go the way you deserved. You had every reason to fight, to argue, to prove your point, to replay the injustice again and again in your mind. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. Holding a grudge is like carrying a heavy stone in your chest. At first, It feels powerful, like you are protecting your dignity. But slowly, quietly, it drains you. It tightens your jaw. It hardens your tone. It steals your sleep. It changes your posture. People who hold grudges age faster, not because of time, but because of tension. Anger consumes energy. Resentment demands constant mental replay. Ego insists on winning arguments that no longer matter, and that constant internal battle shows on the face. But if you look younger than your age, it may simply mean you made a decision many cannot make. You chose peace over ego. Forgiveness does not mean you forgot what happened. It does not mean you allowed disrespect. It does not mean you became naive. It means you refused to let someone else's behavior control your inner state. Imagine two people in their late 60s who experienced the same betrayal decades ago. One still brings it up in every conversation. The voice rises when telling the story. The face tightens. The wound feels fresh even after 25 years. The other says, "It hurt, but I let it go." Not because it was small, but because their peace was bigger. That difference changes everything. The first person relives the pain daily. The second person lives freely. Freedom looks youthful. When you forgive, your nervous system relaxes. Your breathing softens. Your shoulders drop. You stop preparing arguments in your head. You stop rehearsing revenge scenarios. You stop proving something that no longer needs proof. You become lighter, and lightness shows. There is something deeply attractive about someone over 60 who carries no visible bitterness, who can speak about the past without venom, who can say, "I learned from it," instead of, "I'll never forgive." That emotional maturity is magnetic, because forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about reclaiming your energy. When you refuse to carry emotional weight that wasn't yours to begin with, your entire presence shifts. You smile easier. You trust carefully but openly. You don't approach every new relationship with suspicion. Peace protects your youth. Not cosmetic treatments. Not expensive clothes. Peace. Peace smooths expression. Peace softens the eyes. Peace steadies the voice. It allows your face to rest instead of fight. After 60, the greatest luxury is not money. It is emotional calm. And if you have reached this stage looking vibrant, it likely means you fought fewer unnecessary battles. You chose silence over argument. You chose distance over drama. You chose acceptance over endless resistance. You understood something powerful. Winning every argument is not worth losing your serenity. So if someone tells you, "You don't look your age," understand what they may truly be seeing. They are seeing a person who let go instead of holding on. They are seeing someone who valued inner peace more than outer victory. They are seeing a soul that refused to stay heavy. And when the soul is light, the face follows. So if someone tells you, "You don't look 60, don't just smile politely. Understand what it truly means. It means your spirit survived. Your heart stayed soft. Your mind stayed open. Your dignity stayed intact. Looking young after 60 is not about appearance. It is proof of inner strength. And if you are watching this, whether you are 40, 50, or already 60, start protecting your peace now. Because youth is not about age. It is about energy. If this message touched you, comment below your age and one habit that keeps you feeling young. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because here we honor aging, but we never surrender to it.